Okay, things looking good. Hello everyone, Artemu the Violet Wizard here, and today we are continuing Spyro 2, Ripto's Rage. Last time, we made some really good progress with clearing up some of the levels here in Autumn Plains, the second main area of the game. And today we should be finishing up everything we can do in this hub before taking on our next major boss fight. So we should have at least 2 new areas to explore before we're ready to take on this boss. So the first area we're going to go to is right over here, Shady Oasis. And let me tell you, this area is going to be interesting for a few reasons. Let's dive right in. Alright, it's a very interesting start of things here. Also got a little bit of a war flashbacks the last time I dealt with those thieves back in Spyro 1.
Spyro, it's a good thing you're here. I've been trying to get a berry out of this magic berry bush, but I'm just not strong enough. If you charge or flame the bush, one of those yummy berries should drop.
So the gimmick with this area is we need to make use of these hippos here. We can knock down a berry using our charge attack, and then the power of the berries causes the hippos to grow, allowing them to move forward, and wow, just totally took out that enemy for us. Thanks for that, buddy. So yeah, we got ourselves a very interesting area to explore here. I quite like the aesthetic of this place, how it's a very, I want to say it's like based on an Indian setting here. And it looks quite nice. I really do love the atmosphere of this place. It's got a big container here. We'll save that for later. But yeah, we got a lot of guys to deal with around here, and we definitely gotta help out the hippos around this area as well. Alright, there's another gem here we can grab, and there's more stuff over this way. Now, I do want to mention that on our first visit to Shady Oasis, much like Fracture Hills, this is going to be an area we are going to have to return to later with a new power. So we're not going to be able to finish everything here on our first visit. Kind of sad to say that, but, you know, that's just how things are here in Spyro 2. And let me tell you, the further we get into this series, we're still going to be encountering things like that. But for now, we're not going to worry about it. In fact, this should be the last level we see in our adventure that we are going to have to backtrack to. Alright, so we need to fly on up to this berry bush to help this fellow out. Yeah, quite the interesting gimmick here, making use of the unique items around here. And oh boy, this enemy! I quite like this enemy's design. Aw, man, I'm just a sucker for pretty lady monsters, and yeah, that's definitely a design I quite like here. The other guys in this area, though, not so much. At the very least, we can knock the shields out of those guys' hands so that we can finish them off. Otherwise, the Super Flame is also quite good at taking them out. However, that's not the ability you're able to normally get in this area, so I'm gonna try to refrain from using our Super Flame if we are able to in this area, just to try and make things a little bit more fair. But yeah, definitely quite excited to be streaming this portion of the game, because it was around this part that was the final session that I recorded ever on my Twitch channel. So So it's like right before we got into the end game of Spyro 2 that we eventually decided to stop. And for good reason, considering some of the policies that Twitch decided to implement that I really disagreed with as someone who is just, likes to do streams casually and not for any business reasons. Just really disagreed with some of their decisions and ultimately decided to move things over to YouTube. And it was definitely took a bit of time before we revisited Spyro 2, so definitely quite happy with the amount of progress we've been making so far. We also have some of these projectiles that we can get if we want to take out some of the enemies around here. And also in order to reach the tree over here. So obviously we want to make use of this in order to lob a fruit down so this guy can eat it. You can just take out the rest of these guys, please. Bam! Just flatten that guy with your big hippo ass. Oh, man. So now we've taken care of that, we should be just about done here.
Thanks for helping me reach the great berry bush. Now we can eat berries all the time. Here, take this. It's a gift from all of us hippos.
Thank you for that. And we're able to obtain our talisman. And I believe that is the very last talisman that we need to collect in the game. So going into our guidebook and looking at everything we have obtained so far. Yeah, we certainly did good here. Now, we are going to need to return to this area a bit later, so I'm thinking we might as well end the level here. There's tons of stuff we still need to gather in this area, but we can save that for when we inevitably return here, because, trust me, we're going to be back here later in this session. Looks like we caught you snacking in 4K, buddy. I gathered a good amount of gems. I don't really think with our current total we need to worry about having to pay an outrageous sum to moneybags at this point.
Well done, Spyro. Now that you have all 14 talismans, your guidebook can break the lock on the door and you can fight Gulp. Are you ready?
Pretty much.
Okay, come back whenever you're ready.
However, we are not quite done with levels that we can see here in the Autumn Plains. Though we do have enough to be able to take on Gulp and obviously Ripto. However, there is one more area around here that we did not get an opportunity to check out, and that is the Icy Speedway. So yeah, there are 2 Speedway levels inside of the Autumn Plains, which definitely adds on to my theory that there were supposed to be 4 main hub worlds in this game. But due to time constraints, they ultimately shortened it to just 3 worlds and then packed all of the extra levels into the Autumn Plains. But anyway, let's take on Icy Speedway. If I remember correctly, this should be a pretty interesting one. Yeah, we got ourselves this icy island to explore. And this area certainly has a bit for us to see. We got these hang gliders and also the guys inside of the... inside those machines in order to deal with. As well as plenty of other fellows. They've also got some gates to take care of, the sea monsters, the figure skating guys here. We're going to do our best to take care of all of these things as fast as we can. I don't really know what the intended order for this area is going to be, but should be pretty good. Yeah, I like how the requirements for this place requires you to take out both the hang gliders and the guys in these snowmobiles as part of these trials here. Be an interesting way of handling some of that. Alright, so made our way for the gates, so we just gotta take care of these guys, and then we got the figure skaters. There should be a few more. Yep, there we go. Honestly, not that bad of a world. Yeah, I really do find the speedways in Spyro 2 to be a heck of a lot more reasonable than the flight stages in Spyro 1. But that's not everything we can do in this area, obviously. So the next thing we need to do, we want to go inside of an igloo.
Good job, Spyro. Looks like you're ready for a more serious challenge. How about a little paragliding? You're not afraid of heights, are you?
So we got ourselves a paragliding mission with Hunter here.
Great! I'll tow you behind my snowmobile, and you maneuver through the rings. Don't miss any or we'll have to start over.
Sure thing, buddy. Also like that Hunter has a winter scarf and hat for this area. It's worth a nice look for you. So got ourselves a new trial here. We have to fly through the rings while we are in the air. Definitely want to be careful with this trial. Just want to turn left or right, or stay in the middle, depending on the formation of the rings. But if you're pretty persistent, you should be able to take care of this with very little trouble. You just do need to be careful, because there's a lot of rings you have to get through. And if you miss one, you have to redo the entire game, so definitely watch out for that. We are just about done here. Very good.
Way to go, Spyro. You're even better than I am.
And that gets us an orb. Very good. Alright, so that's everything we can take care of in the Icy Speedway. I definitely quite like the look of this area. I definitely find ice levels to be just some of the prettiest areas in, like, any frickin' video game. It's a very nice look to this area as well. With that, we have finished up everything we can do in Autumn Plains on our first visit, besides a few things we missed over in the Shady Oasis, but we're going to save that for a bit later. So now it is time for us to take on the boss.
You'll have to jump down the hole in the floor to get to where Ripto and Gulp are waiting. I can help you out a little bit. I tamed some pterodactyls from Skylos Badlands. They'll be dropping in objects that you can use to fight Gulp.
So we already got a good idea on the boss that we're going to be facing here. And trust me when I say, this one can definitely be pretty tough. Definitely a lot more so than Crush. Let's dive right in.
Gulp, we finally made Avalar ours. You've earned a special reward. Gulp, what is it, boy? Oh, the fairy. Here you go.
Toasty!
Oh! You singed my cape! Dragon, you are really starting to get on my nerves! Say goodbye, flame breath! Gulp! Lunchtime!
It's time for the second of Ripto's minions, Gulp! This big guy can definitely be a pain. He will charge at you and try to flatten you, and oh man, he's already doing some sizable damage to us. So for this level, we gotta rely on the We have pterodactyls that are going to be flying in here in order to help us out. Also want to watch out for the blasts from those weapons on Gulp's back. Those energy blasts can really cause some trouble for us. Alright, so the bombs we're going to need to knock into you. And we definitely need this chicken here. Sometimes the pterodactyls will drop in chickens. Those are how you can replenish your health should you get damaged during this fight. So definitely use those. Now we do have our super flames, so we can easily use those to take care of Gulp here. However, I'm not going to be doing that because I want to try and showcase this fight as legit as possible. Well, yeah, watch out for the weapons that Gulp fires from his back and make good use out of everything that gets dropped in by the pterodactyls. Got ourselves a missile. We can just shoot that out at the big beast. Oh, he's charging at us. Gotta careful. That is so hard to dodge. As an aside, you can actually blast Ripto over here, and I believe that can get you an achievement if you manage to do that. It's quite nice little extra to go along with this area in this fight. What do we got over here? Alright, we'll take the chicken, and can we blast the bomb? Oh yeah, I believe Gulp can actually eat the chickens himself to replenish health, so definitely watch out for that. This fight is also pretty notorious to me because I've encountered a good number of glitches when I fought this guy in the past. However, that might have just been because of the quality of my PC when I was running this game before. So I have a pretty good idea that we should be having a pretty easy time with this one, all things considered. Alright, let's take these chickens out before Gulp can get them. What else do we have? I definitely like the different variety of weapons we have at our disposal. Like, we got barrels that we can launch at them. We got bombs. We can fire missiles. Definitely a lot of interesting ways that we can handle this brute. Oh, get away from me! Get away! Yeah, definitely a more fearsome fight than we experienced with Crush. You can definitely see why this is one of Ripto's most elite fighters, despite the fact that, you know, he's dumb as bricks. And definitely a lot more animalistic compared to some of the other threats we faced before. Right, come on, we need some more weapons. I can hear some pterodactyls. Come on. Whoop. Get away from me! Ah! Yeah, he is surprisingly very fast with those. Take that. Could really use some extra health here. Uh-oh. Get out of here! Please be health. Yeah, thank you. And can we get a weapon? Yeah, we got a barrel. Come over here, buddy. Or not. Alright, what else do we have? Can you get over here? Just knock the barrel into you. Very good. Just need one more hit to take him out. Come on. What do we got here? Alright, we got a missile. That will be good for the finishing blow. Take that!
Spyro, you did it!
Whoa! Elora, where'd you come from?
I was just outside the castle in Autumn Plains. The castle is now free again. There's no sign of Ripto. And since you've been around, the creatures of Avalar are finally starting to get along. Since you've done so much for Avalar, and since I know you've really missed being on vacation, We really wanted to do something nice for you. It's not much, but we hope you like it.
Oh, wow, this is great. Aren't you gonna join me?
No. I'd like to, but I've got to go check on the professor in the winter tundra. He's still trying to fix the super portal so we can send you home.
Oh, that sounds interesting. I think I'll just hang out here for a while and soak up a few rays. Uh-huh. Hey, where'd Elora go? I better follow her.
Yep, our vacation isn't here yet. At the very least, we were able to take out Gulp.
I think I've finally come up with a way to access the dragon worlds from the super portal. This power crystal should give us the extra boost that we need. Just a few more calculations to set it up. I think I have it. Excellent. Everything is finally ready. We're going to need a lot more orbs, but with the power crystal boosting it, the super portal should work again.
Uh-oh.
So, you thought you had gotten rid of me. Well, I'm afraid not. I persuaded that fat bear Moneybags to sell me a few bombs.
Quick, the power crystal!
Don't even try it, book boy, or you'll be the world's smartest pile of ashes. This is just what I need for a new scepter.
Hunter, do something, quick!
Hey, give that back! Well, I tried.
You little fools! After I destroy you all with my new scepter, I'm going to rename this place Riptonia!
Yeah, it is hard to feel sympathetic for Moneybags after he sold us out just for a couple of extra gems. God, I hate that guy. But yep, Ripto is still alive and we gotta take him out.
Spyro, Ripto's still alive, and he's locked us out of the castle. Even worse, he's stolen our new power crystal for the super portal.
So yep, we still gotta take out Ripto if we are gonna get ourselves back home. But before we do, let's go talk to the bear.
Well, Spyro, it comes down to this. There's only one more thing I can teach you. And like all the best things, it doesn't come cheap.
He's gotta pay 1,000 gems to learn Head Bash. Sure.
The head bash move is very simple, really. All you must do is jump and then press the action button.
So now that we have the Head Bash, we have the ability to break things that we could not break before. I mean, we could also break these with our Super Flame, but, you know, it's also just still quite nice to have this particular move. And now that we have the Head Bash, we have everything we need in order to take on the last of the trials in the Autumn Plains that we could not do before. Yep, at this point, we have everything we need in order to achieve 100% in the game. But of course, we got ourselves quite a few levels to complete here in the Winter Tundra. But we will handle those after we are done with everything else around here. So for now, we're just going to be going around the Winter Tundra and collecting all the gems we can in the overworld. And then we should be heading back to the Autumn Plains in order to take on the last of the missions that we could not complete before. So like this is a winter area, so of course the little critters around here are penguins. Got ourselves an underwater, it's a cave over by the water here. And, of course, we got another Moneybags gate here.
One last Speedway adventure for you, Spyro. It's not that expensive, you know.
200 gems to access the Canyon Speedway. Yeah, that's pretty cheap, so fine.
You've chosen wisely. I bet a quick dragon like you will win your money back in no time.
And if I'm looking at my notes correctly, that might actually be the last time we have to pay money bags in the game. So, you know, thanks for everything, you shitheel. Alright, so while we are taking care of the next couple of objectives we need to in the winter tundra, what's something that we could talk about right now? Well, I'm enjoying a nice day off from work at the moment. It's definitely been an interesting day for me for a few reasons. Namely, one of the things that has been going on is... earlier today, went and grabbed some lunch. Actually grabbed some chicken shawarma, and that was certainly very nice to eat. And hello,
well,
Professor.
It's some consolation that you've collected so many orbs. My high-tech portal here will take you to Cloud Temples.
So thanks to the orbs we've collected, we're able to unlock that level, the Cloud Temples. We'll definitely head over there much later. We got some other stuff to take care of before we do that. So yeah, I've definitely had a pretty good lunch. I actually wanted to go grab some chicken shawarma a lot earlier this week. However, I wasn't feeling too well a bit earlier this week, so I didn't really think it was a good idea to go out and try to get that food. But yep, here is the big teleporter the guys were talking about. The very same teleporter that first brought Ripto and his cronies to Avalar in the first place. And that is also our ticket home. Once we actually, you know, manage to take care of Ripto and everything.
I can see you've learned the value of orbs, Spyro. This touchy gate should work perfectly with the help of your impressive orb collection.
And thanks to the orbs we collected, we can now access the Metropolis portal. So that'll certainly be a pretty cool level for us to get to see. So out of all of the levels here in Spyro 2, I will say that the Winter Tundra levels are pretty much the levels I have the least experience with, considering that I had stopped my streams of Spyro 2 on Twitch right when we had access to this area. So I definitely have not gotten a lot of time to play around these levels. But I have beaten this game at least twice before, so we should be more than prepared for some of the trials ahead. Is there anything else over here we can check? There's this water over here that I think might lead us to something. Let's dive down into the water and see. Oh, yep, there's quite a bit we can find over here. Just dive down underwater and into this cavern. This should take us to a more secluded spot of the map here, where we can get another secret orb in this area. And that is the last orb we can collect in the overworld of the Winter Tundra, which also means the last orb we can obtain in the overworlds in general. Definitely quite nice. Alright, and the last of the gems around here should be on the path up to Ripto himself, as he's taken over the last of the castles here. Got ourselves quite a few treasures on the way to the big guy himself. Talk to you in just a second, Elora. Just give me a moment to collect these. And there should be... Oh yeah, we actually have to open the path to Ripto's arena first.
All right, Spyro. Now that you've got the orbs, Ripto's demise is only moments away, right? Right? Well, anyway, good luck. He's right through this door.
So in order to access the final battle with Ripto, you need at least 40 orbs, which, as you can see from our guidebook totals, we have definitely went above and beyond in order to get that. But we are not going to be facing the big bad just yet. I just wanted to grab those last couple of gems, and we are officially done with everything we can in the overworld of the Winter Tundra. Very good indeed. So now we're going to need to backtrack to the Autumn Plains so that we can achieve the last of the objectives in this area. Because we're going to need the Head Bash in order to complete things we can still do in Fracture Hills and Shady Oasis. So in the meantime, while we're going back to these areas, what is something else we could mention? I guess a pretty big thing that may be relating to this channel at some point in the future. So I've recently been going through the release of Rayman 2: The Great Escape that was recently put on the Nintendo Switch Online service, and it's definitely been fun getting to revisit that particular game. I was actually quite familiar with the with Rayman 2 for a good number of years. Back when I initially played the PlayStation 2 version. Ow. Stupid bush. How dare you ambush me? I'm pretty sure I made that same pun the last time we were here, but I will keep saying it because it's a good one. So we're going to avoid most of the things over here in Fracture Hills, as I want to head straight to the main objective we have to do in this area. But yeah, like I said before, I managed to actually defeat the final boss in Rayman 2, which definitely been something I was excited for doing for quite a while. So obviously, I used to play the PlayStation 2 release of the game, and it was definitely quite nice getting to go through the older version of the game that was available on the Nintendo 64, you know? And definitely a good time of that. Hey, Hunter.
Stand still, he says. I'll turn your boots to gold, he says. Oh, hi, Spyro. You're a sight for sore eyes. I'd appreciate it mightily if you could locate that alchemist. He owes me a favor.
So we gotta go find an alchemist in order to help our buddy Hunter here. And of course, we got some Earth Shapers that could give us a bit of trouble here. So don't want to take those guys out just yet. So go over here, we can find the alchemist.
I've been experimenting with a new potion. I'd like to try it out, but the Earth Shapers have made going out a bit difficult. Could you kindly offer me an escort?
Sure thing, buddy.
Great! Just keep those Earth Shapers away from me, and I'll take this potion to Hunter.
Now this mission here, oh boy, I definitely know that this is a pretty infamous mission among the Spyro community. Because it got these Earth Shapers around here that will be trying to attack the alchemist. He's going to be taking the most roundabout way through this area and just going right directly by the Earth Shapers. And you need to be really careful here. Do not let this guy get hit, otherwise you're going to have to start all over again. Yeah, this is not a mission I particularly like for obvious reasons. Just have to keep hitting these guys just so that they won't strike the alchemist, even though he is being so difficult by taking the most awful path imaginable just to get to Hunter. Get out of here. Oh, gotta stop this guy. And gotta stop you. Oh, get it. No. Get away, you. And nope. Nope. And I think there's one more we gotta deal with over here. No, wait, he's going back. No, no. Why are you like this? All right, come on. Get in there. Get in there, you old goat.
Man, do my feet feel better. Would you look after this for me?
By helping out Hunter, we get ourselves another orb.
As long as you're here, would you like to help me take out these stubborn Earth Shapers?
Sure thing, buddy.
All right. When I shoot an Earth Shaper with an arrow, you head bash him before he gets back up. Remember, head bash by jumping and then pressing the action button.
So this is why I recommended not starting this mission with Hunter until after we got the head bash move. Because otherwise, you won't be able to do this mission. So here we gotta help out Hunter take out the Earth Shapers. He will stun them with his arrows, and then you can head bash them in order to take them out. Obviously, we have the Super Flame, so that's also a way you can take these guys out. However, I'm going to be doing this the way that Hunter wants us to take care of this mission. Yeah, this one really shouldn't take too much trouble for us to take out all these guys. We should be just about done here.
We make a great team. Here, I was gonna give this to the alchemist, but I'm a bit annoyed at him at the moment.
Understandable. That guy has no idea where he's going. But with that, we got the last orb we need in the Fracture Hills, which means we are now done with Fracture Hills. Ah, thank goodness we are done here. Alright, so let us head off back to Shady Oasis. So then we'll be able to finally clear up this area. Alright, so we're going to be doing quite a bit of backtracking through this area. Doing a bunch of stuff we have previously had to do just to be able to get to some of the new content in this place. So, definitely want to make sure we have some room to talk about things around here. So while we're going through this area again, wow, there's some gems I missed the first time we were in this area. Okay, cool, fun. I mean, I guess those weren't in the worst place they could have been. So we're dealing with some of the foes around here and just some of the puzzles. What's something else we can mention? Don't know about you, but whatever reason, I've just had the Amazing Digital Circus in my mind quite extensively for the last couple of weeks. Especially after the last episode that came out, which was... oh man, that episode was just crazy for what they did, and man, I really have no idea where they are going to go with the show at this point, especially with regards to some of the characters. Namely, with what's going to be going on with both Jax and Kane, given a lot of the stuff that was said and done in the most recent episode. Yeah, it's certainly going to be interesting seeing the next two episodes of this series, which is also gonna be the last two episodes of the show, as it's been stated before that there's only gonna be one season of Digital Circus, and you know, it's quite nice when a creator of a series has a set plan for how long they want their series to be, and as much as I would just love to see more of these characters and this world that Gooseworks created, perfectly understandable why she and the rest of the Glitch team would want to keep things to a set number of episodes. Especially just given how the animation quality of the series is just so good. Like, I definitely feel it's one of my favorite indie animation series, just in terms of the visual design and the animation. It's amazing.
Thanks for helping me reach the Great Berry Bush. Now we can eat berries all the time. Here, take this. It's a gift from all of us hippos.
Thanks for that, Shorty. Also, something I like in this area, the hippos here sound a lot like Tails from the Sonic series. I don't know if that was intentional or not. But with that taken care of, we got ourselves another one of these urns we gotta take care of. And also this guy.
Spyro, 3 thieves have stolen our magical brass lamps. Please get the lamps before they take them away from Shady Oasis.
So now we got some thieves to deal with. As you can tell by the appearance of these guys, they're quite similar to the thieves that we have previously encountered in Spyro 1. And yeah, these guys are gonna be nasty to deal with. It shouldn't be too bad, all things considered. Also, here's another thing we need to head bash in order to get. So you get a butterfly over here. So I will say if you have Super Flame, then you should be easily able to take care of these guys, since you can just easily blast them from a distance without having to worry too much about them getting ahead of you. I'm gonna try and see if we can get this guy the legit way, though. Yep, we're able to bash that guy, getting ourselves one of the lamps in this area. So got a missile here we can light. That is what we need in order to crack open that container over there. So getting ourselves a lot of goodies. Alright, so we got another thief this way. So you are going to be taking us all around this poisonous pond over here. I can definitely tell this guy can give us a bit of trouble. These guys, you definitely want to try to cut them off as best you can when in this area. But we also have Super Flame, so we can just blast this guy. I really don't care about authenticity at this point. Let's just get these objectives taken care of. Also, is there not a whirlwind in this area that we can use to get up to the higher levels here? I feel like that should be a requirement after we gotten the talisman. No, there's no whirlwind to see over there. It's kind of weird. Just blast this urn. Get you moving to a different spot. So now you're over here. Now you're behind us. And that takes you over near the beginning. Alright, honestly not that bad of a mission to take care of this guy. Get all the delicious gems that we can get in there. Yeah, there is no whirlwind to take us back up here. That is so weird. Alright, I'm just gonna have to go the long way for this. Something else I wanted to mention. What did I want to talk about? Oh yeah, so I've been playing some more Genshin Impact, as I've been doing that quite extensively over the last couple of weeks. And after quite a few days and having some really poor luck with my wishes, I've actually managed to get a really good result from the current event wishes that are available to us, as I managed to obtain Shilonin as well as Iensan, which I am definitely very happy about. These are two characters I've definitely wanted for a sizable amount of time.
Thanks for bringing back the 3 magic lamps. Here, take this orb. Some fairy left it with me, but it won't hold a proper shine.
Yeah, definitely quite excited to have these two characters at my disposal now. And I've been definitely taking some time recently to try and level them up, so that we should be able to get some good use out of them in the future. See, there's a whirlwind over here, but I don't know, that's weird.
My 8 brothers have been trapped in rock and will sink if you can't break them free. Head bash the rocks by jumping and then pressing the action button. Follow my lead.
So over here by Grundy.
Follow me. And remember, jump and then press the action button to head bash.
Gonna need to use the head bash to take care of this next mission. We have some hippos encased in rock here in this toxic water. And we needed to head bash them free in order to release them. Now you're also gonna need to make use of the invulnerability power in this area. Otherwise, you're just gonna be taking damage in the toxic water. Yeah, this mission really isn't that bad.
Thanks for freeing us. All I have to give you is this thingy I found. At least it's not a rock.
Thank you for that, Grundy. And that should be the last orb we need in this area. So now we have 50 orbs. Very nice. And we got ourselves the last of the gems in this area, which means we are done with Shady Oasis. So let me blast this peacock so we can get a butterfly. Yep, that is now every level in Autumn Plains taken care of, as well as Summer Forest. So all we have left to do is the Winter Tundra. Alright, so this is definitely gonna be quite interesting. We definitely have plenty of time, so we can definitely get started on some of the levels around here. But the first thing I want to take care of, though, I want to head into the Speedway level first. Let's just get this out of the way so that we can get ready for our next objective. So over here in the canyon, first thing we have to see here are these rams up on the cliffs. So let's take care of these guys first. It also looks like we got some bikers that are going to be hanging around here as well. So definitely want to hang around the roads to deal with those guys. Then we have some rings to fly through. That's definitely our next objective you want to take care of after handling the bikers. And then we got some vultures that we can take care of over here. Definitely want to fry up these vultures, and then we can get started on the bikers. So after we are done with you, we should be good to handle the last objective here, which is the bikers. So where are these guys? Alright, they're over here. Alright, so as long as we follow the path over here, we should be good. Why am I almost out of time here already? Spyro, fly up! God! Is that the first flight level I actually failed at? Wow. Okay, no biggie. We can handle this. Yeah, that was very weird how I'm having so much trouble just getting to that one thing there. Yeah, we should have plenty of time now to deal with these guys. Yeah, just handle the sheep, then we do the rings and the vultures. Got you. Where are these guys? There's the last of the vultures. Then we got, yep, the bikers. As I know we're gonna be seeing them around here, so let's just charge on through, and we should have this done. And we got a skill point too. Quite nice. But that's not the only thing we're able to take care of here. Like the other speedways, we do have another objective we can take on. And for this one, we are going to need to head over back where the vultures were flying around, as that's where we're going to get our next objective. Just going to ignore these guys because I really don't have to do anything with them for the time being. Sorry, where's the... Should be over here. Yep, so wanna head this way.
All right, Spyro. Are you ready to try out my plane? I just fixed it, and I'm pretty sure it won't crash now.
So, we got another game to play with Hunter.
Okay, Spyro, here's what you gotta do. I've got the plane on remote control, so all you have to do is hit the targets with your machine gun. Press the attack button to fire the gun, and use your left stick to aim.
Alright, so B to fire gun, use the left stick to aim, and we're told not to miss any targets. Honestly, this is another quite good mission. You simply aim at the targets and blast them with your guns. Yeah, you definitely want to make sure that you are pretty accurate at this. You can also just freaking spam the button if you want. There's really not much reason not to. Man, this mission really does highlight how the technology in Avalar is well above that of the Dragon realms. Alright, last targets are there.
All the targets. It must be because you had such a good pilot.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that. But we're able to get ourselves the Canyon Speedway Orb by taking care of that mission. And we are done here. Honestly, not that bad of a run for that area, despite the, first time we failed. Oh man, I do not know what was with that attempt. We got plenty of time to take on some more levels, so how's about we get started with the first one we have available to us, which is the Mystic Marsh. So this area is quite fascinating.
Ooh.
Alright, this is certainly a interesting place.
Things just aren't the same since our magic fountain shut off. It sure would help if you could find out what evil force is behind this disaster.
So we gotta help out the water wizards here by repairing their fountain. And also deal with a bunch of different foes around here. So this area will eventually get to see the main gimmick of this area. But for now, just want to focus on taking care of gathering up some gems and taking out some enemies around here. There is quite a bit we can see around this area. We got these snail-elephant hybrid creatures all throughout this area we gotta deal with. So the metal ones, the metal rhinoceros snail things, you'll want to ram into those guys. And then for the elephant snails, you want to flame them to take them out. Yeah, this is the fountain that we gotta take care of. I'll have to figure out how to free this one. For now, let's just take out some of these enemies, and hopefully should be able to kill enough enemies to activate the super weapon of this area. Yeah, definitely quite like the vibes around here. It's definitely a cool natural area. Of course, purple water, which is the universal sign of do not drink or you will die. It's kind of funny to me just how many video games will have of water that you're not supposed to go into simply by making it a color like purple. Just a fun quirk with most video games and how they're often designed. There's a duck over here, which doesn't really seem too happy. I wonder why. There's some more gems in the water, but we'll worry about that in a bit. For now, just want to take care of some of these other guys around here. Alright, just need a few more enemies, and then we'll be able to access the superpower of this area. So we can take this whirlwind up to the higher level. And this certainly has a lot of things for us to see. Whoever wants to drop down here. And look who we got! It's the professor! How about we talk with him?
Ah, Spyro, so glad you're here. I'm perfectly useless without my trusty pencil, and I seem to have lost it. I do have this extra egg. Perhaps you can trade it for my pencil.
Pick up the egg and trade it. So got herself an egg that the professor has here, and we need to find a place to put this so that we can eventually get a reward. Alright, so how about we dive into the water here, and should be able to take care of a few of the things in this area. Dive back over here, please. It's got these platypus-looking enemies to deal with around here. So yeah, those guys can actually inflate themselves in order to protect them. It's a little irritating. Certainly don't remember Perry the platypus having this ability. Take that. Alright, so now we dealt with all the enemies around here. That should be enough for us to use our main power in this area. Also, this poor duck is looking very sad. We'll find a way to help her, maybe a bit later. For now, would really like to get out of the water, please. Oh, why was that giving me so much trouble? So we got ourselves an egg, so we're gonna need to find a place to put it. So how about we search for somewhere up high? As you know, with eggs, they would certainly like to be somewhere up high and out of reach. Just go around the tops of these huts here. I'm guessing these are the homes of the water wizards, as they are the main natives of this area. Yeah, just grab a couple more goodies up here. So there's a platform we should be able to reach by going this way. And we can see our superpower over here is the high jump, which should be nice for a few things. Trying to think of where we're going to need to take the egg to. It's definitely somewhere around here. So we're going to leap all the way up here. And there's a guy we're going to need to do something about. Oh, over here. So there is a nest that we can see up here. So let's spit up the egg. Like I said, I want to spit the egg into the nest, please. So by doing that, the bird whose egg that belonged to gives us a seed. So now we're going to need to find a place to put this seed. And look, there's a plant pot over here. You're kind of seeing what we are going to be doing in this area. So the Mystic Marsh's main gimmick is that this area has a trading quest. So by putting the seed in the pot, we're able to grow this flower that spits up a duckling. And you probably can tell what the duckling is going to be used for. We gotta return you to your mama. Yeah, this is certainly an interesting gimmick for a level, having this trading side quest, basically, where we have to exchange a whole bunch of items that we're able to discover all throughout this place in order to complete certain objectives. It's quite a cool idea for a level, if I do say so myself. I'd say it's probably one of the most... liked missions here in the end game of Spyro 2. So now we've reunited the Duck family. We're able to... Can I please jump up here? Jump out of the water, Spyro! God, what is with this specific part? This should not be this hard just to get out of there. Alright, so by helping you, we get this turnip thing. And we're gonna need to find a place to plant the turnip. So we definitely got quite a few things we gotta take care of while we're in this area. I can't flame these guys while I have this in my mouth. Maybe we can try to ram into these lemurs. Take that. I always quite like lemurs when it comes to different animal types. Certainly a cool animal, you know? It's also something that reminds me a lot of a show that I used to watch when I was a kid called Zaboomafoo. Which, for anyone who's familiar with that show, yeah, it was quite fun. Okay, I see where I think we're going to need to put this plant. It's going to take a little while for us to get to you. In the meantime, we can hop into this water and grab a couple more things. We deal with these porcupine platypus guys. They're quite the unique enemy in this area. Think the ecology of this level in general. It's very diverse and it shows a lot of different and wild creatures, which is definitely quite nice, showing just how diverse this area is by having just so many different natural species in this area. We don't really need to worry too much about killing enemies at this point, so we're just going to ignore you for now. Bash that snail away. So we'll deal with that guy in a bit. For now, there's some other things we should be able to do around here. Is there anything in here we can get? Yep, there's some more gems. Also quite like these underwater passageways you're able to take in order to get to more elusive sections of the map. It's quite nice just seeing all the different ways that these areas intersect and connect together. Is quite nice. However, I want to try and get what we can find over here. So now that we have this turnip, I believe we want to put you into this pot. So drop you in there, and this gets us a coin. So now where are we going to take the coin? Well, we'll worry about that in a bit. For now, want to hop into this water so we can grab some of the gems that were inside. So that should be everything we need over there. Alright. Now this one could be a bit tricky if you don't pay attention to what you can do in this area. But if you can see over here by the fountain, there's actually some coins in the water. So we toss a coin in, it will spit out my pencil! So now we can grab the pencil and take it back to the professor. Yeah, all in all, a pretty creative quest that takes us all over this place and has us thinking a bit more abstractly with how we solve the puzzles around here. Quite good.
My pencil! Now I can begin calculating the age of the universe again. Here, take this orb for safekeeping. Elora thinks I'm going to lose it.
Yeah, probably. Look, we all know that as people get older, their memories start to wane. Because I definitely know that I've started to have a few issues with memory every now and then. And I'm only freaking 32. Jeez. Let us hop up here so we can take care of some of the other objectives in this area. We should be able to talk to this guy to get a mission.
Ah, Spyro, a friendly face. A bunch of rotten thieves have stolen my spark plugs and I'm stuck here. Please get the 4 plugs back.
So now we gotta help Basil the Explorer, or is it Basil? And to do that, we gotta take care of thieves. So yep, that's another thing we gotta worry about in this area. Just gotta go around here, just find the... I think it's you. Again, going into the ecology of this place, we got these kangaroo-like guys. I wonder if these guys know of a certain kangaroo that we'll eventually get to see later in the series. But yeah, we gotta take care of these thieves. So naturally, we're easily able to take them out thanks to our fire breath. So that's always quite nice. So might as well wake this character up.
Oh, I must have dozed off there. Golly, looks like I let the fountain switch off. Here, take this orb and, don't mention my little nap to Hydra, okay?
So waking up Snoozle, we're able to get the fountain back up. And that opens up the portal out of here. But we are not done quite yet because we still got these guys to take care of. Yep. We're just gonna blast you and take the spark plugs. There should be 2 more to deal with. Yeah, honestly, not too bad. Especially if you have New Game Plus like me and you have the Super Flame. Alright, and the last one is over there. Wow, he's actually far enough where that didn't affect him. But not for long. No, can we get out of the water, please? Spyro? Spyro, get out of the water, sweetie. You're gonna get all pruny. Fine. Get out the way we're supposed to, even though it doesn't frickin' work half the time. Get out of the water, dragon. There we go. Okay, so... yeah, we're gonna need to go up here if we're gonna get to this last thief. Just be quiet and blast ya!
Woohoo! I'm back in business. Here, young dragon friend, take this. It's museum quality, but you deserve it.
And by completing that mission, we get ourselves another orb. By the way, you may have noticed that we did not receive a talisman by completing the main mission in this area. Yeah, that's because there are no talismans here in these levels in the Winter Tundra. So you just get an orb for completing the main objective in these levels, which you know is also serviceable, but still very weird how they put all the talismans into the first worlds. Some people never learn. But yep, that is the end of that level. And actually starting to wonder if we should end things off now. Because with the remaining levels we have to do, there's only 3 more levels to take care of, and then we have the final boss. And honestly, those shouldn't take too long for us to finish. So, yeah, I feel like now is actually a good stopping point for us on this leg of our journey. And since we completed the Mystic Marsh, this officially means that I've done more progress in this game here on YouTube than I did on Twitch. Woohoo! So thank you for joining me in this leg of our Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage adventure. We managed to clear up everything in the Autumn Plains, and we got started on the Winter Tundra. And very soon, we'll be taking on the big bad Ripto himself. So, I will be seeing you again next week for the grand finale of Spyro 2 Ripto's Rage. Until next time, have a good day, and take care.